Denver Comic Con is a program in the pop culture classroom, a local nonprofit that promotes literacy and the arts through pop culture. PCC works in schools, youth centers, correctional facilities, and summer camps. PCC uses comics to help kids and improve their reading and writing skills while also igniting their imaginations. Every ticket bought for Denver Comic Con helps support the work of the pop culture classroom. Thank you so much. I'd also like to give a thank you to the ladies here from Rose Interpretive Services who have been here helping out for our deaf attendees. Just so you know, and then next up, without further ado, let's get up on stage our host with the most. You know him as Harry Kim from Star Trek Voyager. He's one of People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People. He's your host for the next hour, Garrett Wong.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah. Last day of con blues starts kind of seeping in right now a little bit, you know. I feel that too, because being a geek at heart, I definitely enjoy coming to conventions. I enjoy coming to conventions so much that I volunteer to moderate panels. So here I am. Thank you very much. Oh, we have, okay. Hello. Hello. See, it's great because you can always find out what certain words are when you sign them, like butt, donkey, lion, giraffe, eggs Benedict. Oh, I like that one. All right, without further ado, please put your hands together for Rebecca Bader. Here she comes. Here she... Uber.
Morning, everyone!
She's full of energy.
Well, this is my third coffee.
Yeah.
Woo!
We talked briefly backstage about Chinese astrology. She's Year of the Snake, and I am Year of the Monkey. And Year of the Snake, traditionally, people hear snake in the Western cultures and think, oh, that's not a good animal. But in Chinese culture, snake is not considered bad. Snake is actually the most beautiful of all the Chinese astrological signs.
Stop. Yes. Don't stop.
Okay, I'll keep going. And I learned that you do snort when you laugh hard, right?
Yeah.
It comes out a little bit.
I've tried to give up snorting, but I can't.
You can't.
I have no control over it. I've got one of the most obnoxious laughs, and there's a plethora. They're all different sounds.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was at school, they used to get me into so much trouble because someone would whisper something to me in class, and I go, ah! They're like, Rebecca, get out! Now! I always get into trouble. I can't help it, I'm very annoying.
Rebecca, have you ever seen the movie Amadeus before with Tom Hulce as an actor playing Mozart? Okay.
Oh, the Mozart film,
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I have, yes.
Anyone seen that film, Amadeus? The laugh that Tom Hulce has in that, it's melodical and it's crazy. That's the laugh I had as a kid. And as I grew older, I learned that I had to change I squelched my true laugh.
No,
I know.
Don't. Bring it back.
Maybe I'll bring it back today, just with you.
Sure. If you're not laughing and having a good time, what's the point?
You are right.
Oh my God, the other day I went to see Pitch Perfect 2, which is hilarious. Oh my God. You know, typically sequels, you're like, they're not as good. But I think this sequel is so much better than the first one. And the cinema was packed in LA, and I was just letting rip. Like, all my laughs were coming out. And the film was over, and this like really cute young girl sitting next to me, she's like, oh my God, I just have to tell you that sitting next to you made the movie like super funny, because your laugh is so crazy. It's insane. And I'm like, oh, cheers, darling. And then the lights went up, she's like, oh my God, it's the Wicked Witch. And she's telling her friends, I'm like, okay, bye, take care. I'm trying to leg it. And she's like, but that's your laugh. I'm like, no, the Wicked Witch's laugh is actually, I'm not even acting, that's my laugh. The face was hilarious. But don't see that film. If you haven't seen it, you're welcome. It's bloody hilarious.
Pitch Perfect 2?
Oh.
Okay, I'll go watch that. So she recognized it was you when the lights came on.
Yeah.
Have you had any of this during this convention? When I'm in the hotel, getting out of the elevator full of fans, I go around the corner, I hear, oh my God, that was him? Holy beep, that was him? That's what I've been getting mostly. So, have you gotten that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, good, just checking. Where in England are you from?
I'm from Cambridge, which is about an hour north of London.
I know where Cambridge is.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful area.
A bit boring, which is why I left, but a lovely place to grow up.
So you live in Los Angeles now, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, people say they live in LA, but when you're an actor, you're in LA, you get the job, and then you bugger off to wherever it shoots. You know, 'cause nothing shoots in LA anymore. So you're in LA, you get the job, and then you go on location and you move to another state or Canada, Vancouver, where we shoot once upon a time, and then that's where you sort of live most of the time.
You know, I think you Brits have such interesting dialogue, your vocabulary. When you say bugger off, what is the origin of that word, bugger off?
It's actually rated R, so I probably shouldn't have said it.
Okay, let's not go there.
Lovely weather. Have you seen outside? Not a cloud in the sky.
Okay, we actually have a couple of microphones set up, I think. Is that right? Yes? All right, so if you have questions, please go up and don't be shy. Go on over there and queue up behind those two microphones. There's one on each side. And we can get some questions to begin with. But back to astrology, I'm Monkey, and the monkey and the snake are secret friends on the Chinese zodiac.
Totally meant to be friends. Friendsies. Yes. Oh my god, let's be Facebook friends.
We could be Facebook friends. Yes. Are you on Twitter?
Oh, I mean, obsessed.
Really?
A little bit obsessed with Twitter.
Will you follow me on Twitter then? I'll follow you.
Alright, $65. Follow for free.
Is that a discount?
Okay, $20.
$20. Thank you. Actor discount. Okay, so we're gonna start with this side.
Oh, hello. Hi.
I was just wondering, when you died the first time, and you got stabbed and shattered like glass, if you knew that you weren't actually dead, and if you didn't know when you found out and how they told you and what everybody thought of that.
Okay. Great question. Super personal. Yeah, well, when I died, I was always supposed to do like this Wicked is Coming arc, you know, for 3B. And it was supposed to be this thing, this villain comes in and then exits stage left and dies. So I always knew that was going to happen, but when I spoke to the guys, they're like, hey, you know, your death is coming up, and I'm like rocking in the corner crying. And in my trailer, bitter party of one. And they said, you know, we were going to annihilate you initially, like just obliterate you and kill you, but we really, really like you, and we're going to sort of kill you in a smoky, ambiguous way, just in case, if down the road you would ever want to come back, maybe you could. So instead of annihilating you into smithereens, maybe it'll be more of a wafting of green smoke. So I didn't know, like I shot it, I died, but I didn't know, I wasn't committed to the show, and I could have got another job, and apparently I didn't get one. Okay, it's fine. You know, so I died and I came back to LA and I got back in the hamster wheel and started going out on auditions and stuff. So I shot my death in March last year and then got back into the game in LA. I was going out on auditions, and then in September, Adam and Eddie called me and said, we'd love to have you back, and told me everything as well, like, by the way, you know, you've been marrying all along. And I was driving through Beverly Hills and I'm like, oh, they're gonna hate me. Oh, no, I'm like, let me pull over. I was pitting, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get so many hate tweets. It's like, yeah, you've been marrying all along, and then you're gonna be pregnant with Robbie's baby. I'm like, oh no. I mean, I just saw all the hate coming. And they're like, and then, if you're down, you know, just love to have you back, you know, would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm really, really, really glad I didn't get another job. I'm so glad. So, yeah, so I've known since September, which is, you know, and then I had to keep it a secret for a really, really long time. So people are like, so what are you working on? I'm like, how are you? Brilliant, love your shirt. So it's been a really fantastic, great, annoying secret to keep up until I actually came back. So yeah, it's out now, so I can relax and have a coffee. Thank you for your question.
Thanks for that question. I love when you guys say, brilliant, it's brilliant.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. Yeah. And then let's sort it out. Let's sort it out.
Sorted.
We'll get sorted. Sorted. Yeah.
Wicked.
All right, wicked sorted. This side, please.
Hi, Rebecca. So my question is if you got to pick your character you wanted to do, would you rather be a hero or a different villain than you are now?
I don't want to be anybody else but me. In real life, I don't want to be another actress, I don't want anybody else's life, and Zelina doesn't either. I just love my character so much. It's my favourite role I've ever played in my life. I like this character even more than the character that I played on Lost, and Lost was epic. It was like the biggest show on the planet. I like this even more. Like, this is a dream come true, and I adore my sister, the Evil Queen, and I adore Rampel. But I don't want to be them because I wouldn't do it as well. So I don't want to be anybody else. I definitely don't want to be a hero. I love being awful. I love it because I'm kind and lovely in real life and relatively sort of normal, and playing a complete psychopath is so delightful. It's so cathartic. And I read these scripts and I'm like, oh, I'm awful. Like grabbing his thing and joking about, Mr. Gold's son's death. Like, who does that? She does, and it's so much fun. I just love it, love it, love it. And if I had to play someone else, I'd be gutted. So I'm really, really happy being me. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing Zelina to life.
Oh,
thank
you.
The best wicked witch ever.
Thank you very much. That's really kind.
Yeah, I do think as actors we do find it much more challenging to play the evil roles. And a lot of times when you meet people who play the bad guys, the heavies in any feature film or TV show, they tend to be the nicest people in real life, right? So, yeah.
Shocking.
It is shocking. Over here, thank you.
Hi, my question is, do you have any idea what your character, what role she's going to play in season 5, being pregnant with Robin's baby?
I am in the exact same boat as everyone else in this room. Absolutely clueless. No idea. And I kind of like it. I like not knowing. I like trying to sort of go with the flow. And they know what they're doing, and I don't want to think about or attach myself to any semblance of an outcome because they'll end up doing something completely different. So I've literally just surrendered myself to the creators and the writers of Once Upon a Time. I'm just trying to go with the flow, yo. No idea, but it'll be good, I'm sure. Thank you.
You do a good American accent.
Dude, I have been here for so long. I have been in America for 17 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time. So how do you sign dude?
Dude.
Dude. Dude. Watch this, watch this.
How do you do it?
Watch
Dude.
this. Dude. Okay.
That's a lot.
And, no, here, but this is the great one. Ready for this one? Eggs Benedict.
I could never learn that. I do
Yes,
love
you
it.
could.
I do
Yes,
love
you
an eggs
could.
Benedict. I love eggs Benedict.
You do?
Now I want an eggs Benedict, thanks.
Oh my gosh. Did I just did that, didn't I? Oh, darn it. Okay.
I'm really hungry now.
All right. Next question over here, please.
Hi, I was wondering how long it takes to get the green makeup on and off.
Yes.
Oh God. I've learned a lot of patience on Once Upon a Time. I've learned to sit and talk. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half. The more we do it, the more we get into a rhythm of it. I wasn't green very much in season 4. I was only green once when I first came back when I had that flashback with Robin Hood in Heart of Gold, and then I was white the rest of the time. But it takes about an hour and a half to put it on. It's 7 different layers of paint. And people think it's CGI, but it's not. We really, really do it. It's 7 layers of airbrush paint. And because it gasses out and kills everybody's lungs, they gave me a separate hair and makeup trailer for me and the makeup artist. So everyone else is fine, and I'm like, but what about my lungs? Don't worry about me. We're like, and I'm sure I'll be fine.
Is that how you cough? That sounds like a video game cough.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a seal.
It's
Sounds sexy.
very seal-like.
Totes,
Oh
right?
my God, that's how you should cough around your boyfriend.
Oh my God, he's so gonna call off the wedding.
That's right, your fiance.
Get it right, dude.
I'm sorry, can we see that? Dude. Let me see that, dude. Ooh.
Sparkle. Yeah, you did good, you did good. So it takes an hour and a half. It's 7 different layers. It's 5 different greens. So it's 1 green. So basically any skin that's going to be exposed is what gets painted. So my boobs, my chest, my neck, all that. So it's 5 different greens, and then like an eggplant colour to do the shading, like down my cheeks, and then like around my collarbones to make me look a little bit witchy. And then the last layer of paint is like a gold speckledy thing. And Rumble has that gold as well, so that when you turn in the lights, you all sparkle. It captures the light.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes about an hour and a half, and then the removal process is more annoying because by the time it's time to take it off, I'm knackered, and I've been in it for 12 hours, and everybody else is in their car going, night! And off Lana goes, and Robin Hood, and I'm like, oh yeah, bye, no, you sleep well. I can't get it off, and we have to put these wet towels in the microwave. So they get really, really hot, and
That's
then like
right.
use this like gel makeup remover, and it's usually someone's doing the back of my neck, someone's doing my hands, with me and 2 other women, furiously trying to get it off so we can go home and go to bed, and then inevitably I wake up the next morning with like green in my ear and under my nails. But it's worth it. I do prefer the green days more than even though it's easier to be white on the show, I much prefer being green.
Now, when you say there's 5 shades of green, do they start with a lighter shade of green and then add to that, or does it
No,
start dark?
they're completely different versions of green. Like one will be like a muted leaf green, and the next one's kind of limey. But it's all about the way that it's layered creates this depth. I mean, the makeup people on the show are just ridiculously talented.
Yeah, they are.
It's bonkers.
They're so good. But you should get like maybe a green paint bump for having to be there extra long. You know, a little extra.
They all
pay.
go home, and I'm like, I'm off the clock. I'm doing this in my own time, not getting paid. For free. But it's worth it.
It is worth it.
Hashtag blessed.
Okay, let's hop over to here this side, please.
Good morning. I have a question actually for both of you. And
You're on.
Oh, go.
it pertains to the racial and gender inequality both within Hollywood and more specifically within the comic sci-fi genre. Namely, what have your experiences thus far been, and are you seeing any changes or experiencing any changes from the current pushback that both Hollywood and the society at large are kind of doing?
That's an excellent question. It's absolutely changing. I've been doing this for 14 years. And when I first started auditioning and stuff like that, I was a minority because I have red hair. How ridiculous is that? And I go on auditions and everybody was American and blonde, and I was ginger and English. So I felt different, you know, so I was trying to, I'd lighten my hair and speak in an American accent, trying to be somebody that I'm not. And it just never really worked for me. But mostly, you know, I'd go to auditions and everyone would be white. And slowly, over the past 14 years, it's gotten better and better and more diverse. And now when I get an audition, it specifically says at the bottom of the email in caps, open to all ethnicities. And they absolutely are now. And I also think Shonda Rhimes has been a huge game changer for the African American community. I mean, how epic is it? You know, you've got How to Get Away with Murder, one of my favorite shows, Scandal, sexy, powerful, strong African American women. It's really exciting. It's a really exciting time. And I mean, you know, fresh off the boat. How wicked is that? And you know, Christella, which unfortunately got cancelled. I'm enjoying watching it get more and more diverse, and I'm excited to see where we'll be 10 years from now.
I was just thinking, ginger in English? Jinglish.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. I'm gonna make that shirt for you. I have a t-shirt company.
I should
so I'm gonna
change my
make
Twitter
that.
handle
You
to
should
Jinglish.
Jinglish. You heard it here first. Ground floor, right here. Yeah, there's a lot of racism in Hollywood. That's been a tough thing. Because growing up as a kid, I never saw positive portrayals except for George Takei, the Zulu. He was the only guy that didn't speak with an accent. Think about that, you know? And that to me was impressive. And I was happy that he had that low baritone voice, you know? He would be on there, Captain, warp 8, warp 9. I mean, it was really just, you know, it had some gravitas to that voice. So to me, that was my one idol that I looked up to. Because what else could I see? Hop Sing on Bonanza.
Mr. Cartwright, can I cook your food for you now? I will wash your clothes.
I mean, it's like an Asian Step and Fetch It is what it was. And it was difficult for me growing up. And when I came into Hollywood, there were very few roles available. I was the first Asian in a Burger King commercial. Yeah, where I was not, obviously I wasn't playing a stereotypical character. I played an employee. I remember when my parents saw that was my first acting job, was playing an employee of Burger King, right? And so I get a call at like 11 o'clock at night from my dad. And my mom and dad are in Vegas. And my dad's like, oh my God, son, we just saw you on TV. You look like a really good Burger King boy. I got the hat on and everything, right? Oh, she snorted, yes. I heard the snore. Oops. So that was, that was a huge deal. And the one area that has always provided equal opportunity to all ethnicities has been Star Trek, you know? And it's been wonderful to be a part of that. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so it has been a bit of an uphill climb for Asian men, more so than Asian women. Because if you think about it, this country has been involved in 3 major wars with countries that are, you know, where the soldiers are, they look like me. So World War II against Japan, Korean War, North Korea, and also Communist China, the Vietnam War against North Vietnamese, and also, I'd say 3.5 wars, the trade wars with GM was going against Toyota and whatnot in the 80s, economic trade war. So there has been negative attitudes against Asian men that have been pervaded through, that haven't touched Asian women. Because think about it, when troops are overseas fighting in Asia, they're fighting Asian men, but they're getting their needs taken care of by Asian women, you know, or Asian women of the night, whatever. So that's why there's Connie Chung, national level Asian female news broadcaster, but no male equivalent. And you're thinking, well, why is that? Are there no articulate Asian male broadcasters? There are, but they're not allowed to raise to that level where they're the top across the board national news anchor, right? The only time you see an Asian man broadcasting on the news, it's usually a California or a New York news station, and they're in the field. They're field reporters. It's the guy going, hello, it's Joe Chen here. I'm in the middle of the Malibu fires. I'm getting hit by embers in my head right now, but here I am, risking my life, because I'm Asian. So it's still, she snorted again. I got 2 snorts. Woo! 2 snorts per 10 minutes. Okay. So yeah, so it's been tough, but I find that when I portray a role, when I, you know, being part of the movement, that you start seeing much more Asian men in the forefront. There's the guy, Mentalist, right? Cho, he's on there. There's so many more Asian guys that you see in film and TV right now. So it's an exciting time right now for Asian guys. So it's changing slowly but surely. Thank you for that question. Yep, we're gonna go to this side, please.
Hey there. On being evil, how much of that came from your take on evil, and how much of that was directed to you?
Okay, sorry. Echo. Well, you know, it starts with the writing and it starts with what's on the page. Like, when you read it and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna hate me, you know? But the cool thing about Once Upon a Time is they don't micromanage what you bring to the character. And I've loved that. You know, a lot of thought went into establishing the look. You know, everybody had an opinion and we had to, you know, the network, the studio, to establish the look and everything. But then once the look of the Wicked Witch was set, they literally just gave me great dialogue and just let me do my thing. And as an actor, that never happens, you know? So the fact that they just trusted me to literally just make it up as I was going along and do my own thing has been really, really, really exciting. I haven't really been directed that much, which I love. Like, some actors really like to get directed a lot because it makes them feel safe and it's someone to hold your hand. But I definitely like winging it by myself and flying by the seat of my broomstick. And it's been really, really liberating. I've literally just been putting my own like English green hot sauce on it and just making it up as I go along with their great writing. So it's been like a great little marriage that's just become deliciously wicked in its own way, you know? Thank you.
I just had this vision of us like 20 years from now hosting a morning show.
Can we be news anchors?
We could be, we can be news anchors, but we could be morning show people.
That's true, like Michael and Kelly.
Exactly, we would be the new Michael Kelly. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
A Jinglish and an Asian guy?
I would love to do a talk show. I'd love that.
That'd be so cool. Would you guys watch that? Okay. Ensign Kim and the Wicked Witch. Okay, all right, this side.
Hi. When we first meet Zelina, she is really awful and evil and scary, and then she goes away, and when she comes back, I feel like she's really easygoing and laid back, and yeah, sure, put me in a padded room. And I just wondered if you could speak to those differences.
Wait, what was different when I came back? I didn't hear
I feel like she was just very compliant, and sure, I'll go with you back to Storybrooke. I'm not going to give you a hard time.
Well, the way that she was appearing compliant in her comeback was, she, you know, her card and her evilness and her plan is kind of going the way that she wants it to go. Because she's pregnant, so she already feels like she's winning, and that's her game plan. So she wanted to go back to Storybrooke. It wasn't like, I'm not going to come with you and I'm going to put a spell on you. Plus also, when you're in New York, you don't have any of your powers. The only power that I had was my glamoring necklace to go back and forth towards being Marion. So the way that I appeared more compliant was that I'd love to go back to Storybrooke with you, let's all go, because this is part of my plan to destroy Regina's happiness. So I wanted to go. I'm like, well, you know, shotgun, you know, and like, let's go, wicked. I've got some Swedish fish for the journey, you know. So that's kind of where Zelina was coming from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys say shotgun in England too? Or you just learned that since you've been, yeah, I was gonna say, that's not,
American.
that's an American thing.
America. The rest of it.
We should do a freaking morning show.
I know!
It would be so funny. Oh my God. Because they'd never use a British person for an American morning television show.
You know, but then John Oliver, he's English and he's doing alright on HBO. How funny is that show?
I've never seen it.
This week tonight on HBO with
I've
John
never
Oliver.
seen it. Is it a
Did you
morning
watch
show?
that? Anybody? He used to be on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And then he got his own show.
Yeah.
Bloody hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's
check
not,
it out.
is it a morning show?
Okay, fine, you win, it's not.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to get that straight. Just trying to pitch us here, right?
Fine,
You can see that.
Talk to a network.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hi, will you do your evil laugh for us?
Which one? Another one?
Yes.
I do this all day. Do you know what I do when I'm home alone? I've got no friends.
Your cat's looking at you like,
Shih Tzu. Shih Tzu and my Starbucks, that's about it.
so your dog's heard all of your wicked laughs, though. Your Shih
Oh,
Tzu.
she's so over it.
What's her name?
Hashtag over it.
What's her name?
My dog's name is Bella.
Bella.
She is 7. She's awful. She's such a brat.
Is she?
I mean, I've created a monster. She's such a brat. She literally rolls her eyes at me disapprovingly. I'm like, I didn't even do anything. She looks just, and in that moment, it looks just like my mum. She sort of looks at me like, oh, Beck. I'm like, oh. It's weird. It's just like looking at my mum.
Oh my. Okay. Or, oh my. Okay. Over here.
What was it like coming into the show when the characters' relationships and friendships were already established?
That's actually quite easy for me because I'm used to being the new kid at school. Because like when I was younger, I used to be a model, which I hated. But you know, every time I went to work, I would always be the new kid on the block. Like the photographer would know the stylist, and the stylist would be friends with the magazine editor, and the hair and makeup people were friends, you know. And I'm like, hiya, and I'd be the new person. So I had to learn at the age of 16 how to sort of ingratiate myself to people and make myself fit in and go, hi everyone, I'm Rebecca, I'm younger than you, and I'm not going to let your pre-established friendships ruin this experience for me, and I'm just going to get in there and have a laugh, and it really built my confidence. And then I had a very similar experience when I joined the cast of Lost, because I joined in the very beginning of season 4, and these, you know, series regulars had all been together for, you know, 3 years, and so it was very similar. So instead of sort of being nervous and weird, I'm like, hi, I'm Rebecca, I'm really happy to be here, let's have a lovely time and be nice to each other, and they were very welcoming and very kind. I mean, it also has a lot to do with, obviously, the other actors, and everyone was really nice to me, and, you know, I'm silly and I don't take myself seriously, and I make, you know, I'm vulgar and I make people laugh. They're like, yay, it's more fun when you're here. So, you know, I'm sort of a comedic relief on set, and the same with Once Upon a Time, you know. I came in and Ginny, Josh and Lana and everybody were like really happy to have me, really kind, and made me feel really welcome. So that made it just made it really easy. It's like, you know, when you meet someone and you feel like you've known them forever. I felt that way about not only the cast, but my character and the crew. It was like a comfortable pair of slippers and a fluffy robe.
Aww,
it's nice.
I like that image. I've kind of fallen in love with you too in this short amount of time.
Oh, my little monkey. You're a monkey and I have flying monkeys. Connecting the dots, you guys. Oh my God, you could be my flying monkey on the show.
See, I could.
Oh, an Asian flying monkey.
An Asian flying
How
monkey.
amazing is that? I'm going to talk to the producer.
Talk to them. It'd be wonderful. Hello.
I'm on it.
I'm so happy
Brilliant.
to hear that. It's wonderful.
I love you too. Frenzies.
Yeah, thank you. Now you can add, if you meet people, you can say, hi, I'm Rebecca, I'm Jinglish. So you can add that to it too. So.
My resume is just getting longer and longer by the minute.
Okay, to this side, please.
What is it like working with Sean?
It's horrible. Oh, it's awful. He doesn't shut up. He goes on and on and on. Sean has become like my big brother. We are so similar. And we have the exact same sense of humour, and it's so nice to have someone English on set. You know, he gets all of my stupid jokes, and I love his wife, and you know, my fiance, and we've all become really, 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 really good mates. And it's just a little bit of home away from home for me. So when we're on set, we just pick on each other constantly, and it's funny when you're around people that don't know that we're best mates. Because they're like, oh, that was a bit harsh. You know, you'll do something, you know, you'll do a take, and I'm like, oh dear, no. Oh dear, no, that was rubbish. And it's like, was it, Bex? I didn't feel committed. I'm like, you didn't look committed. And everyone's like, that's a bit harsh, Bex, but they don't understand. And that's how, in England, when you love someone, you just abuse each other. That means, I like you enough to be awful to you, and the other person just goes, yeah, and it keeps you ever so humble. And so he just takes the piss out of me, and I take the piss out of him, and it's incredibly freeing. And it feels like I'm in London when Sean's on set, so he definitely brings that sense of home for me. I just love him and his wife. I'm just really happy he's on the show.
That's awesome. It's always good to have a countryman there.
Yeah.
Yes? Yes. How do you sign piss? You said take a piss twice. Take a piss.
Make fun of.
Piss.
Well, that take the piss means make fun of.
Yeah, make fun of. I said make fun of. I go, what is fun of?
Oh. That's a whole different TV show.
All right. This side, please.
Hi, I just had a question. My son is 15 years old, and he's kind of interested in acting, but he's stuck in Colorado for the next 2 years. So, do you have any advice for him?
If you love it and you want to do it and it's who you are, then don't ever stop doing it. You know, a lot of people, you know, when you say, oh, I want to be an actor, they're like, good luck. And you're like, oh. You know, look, I had a lot of naysayers when I was 15, 16, when I was his age, you know, and they're like, oh my God, you know, and then when I was 18, I packed my bags and I'm like, I'm going to move to America, and I'm going to be an actress, and I'm going to be on TV. And everybody just said, no, you're not, you'll be back in a couple of weeks. And everybody was a naysayer, and I'm like, no, it's who I am, it's what I am, I'm going to do it. You know, and if you're doing it for the passion of it, and the love of the game, and not to be famous, but because of the craft, then just keep doing it, you know. And people go, oh, study, you've got to study, you've got to study. Yeah, if you've got money. But acting classes and university and college is really expensive, and I couldn't afford it. So it wasn't like I can't preach study, study, study. If you can afford it, absolutely study. I think that's an excellent idea, but I couldn't afford it. So I just kept trucking in my own way and did research in my own way that was very, very cheap. But ultimately, I think what I'm trying to say is don't ever give up, because there's been plenty of times where people were like, maybe you should just throw in the towel, baby. It's not happening. You know, there were long periods of time where I didn't have any money to pay my rent or buy food. Even remembering it is making my eye twitch. You know, there were times where I would buy a loaf of bread on Monday and have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches 2 or 3 times a day for months whilst going out on auditions, and just feeling weak and tired. And I could have said to my mum, like, can you get me on a plane and come home? But I'm like, I can't. So basically just tell him if he loves it, then don't ever quit, and believe in yourself and don't listen to the naysayers.
Can I interject on this also? Okay, thank you. Oh, 3 snorts. Okay, snort. How do you say snort? A snort is this. Snort is, oh nice, look at that. Okay, I would say that the toughest thing about being an actor is living in Los Angeles and trying to make ends meet, and also go on auditions. And so I always tell people from other parts of the country to save up as much money as you possibly can to have a bit of a cushion when you move to Los Angeles, when he finally makes the move to Los Angeles or New York. But from a study aspect, I want to bring up something that I discovered about 2 years ago at a random workshop that I went to. It's called PEM acting. P as in Paul, E as in Edward, M as in Mary. PEM stands for Perticomp, Emotional Method. Perticomp is the last name, the surname of a German director named Stefan Perticomp, who basically is Yoda in real life, reincarnated. He has discovered that every true emotion that a human being experiences is attached to a different organ of your body. So this is the most metaphysical approach to acting technique that you'll ever find, and it is absolutely incredible. So if you use your mind's eye and think about that organ and say your line, that line will come out as if you rehearsed it for 2 years. It's unbelievable. It's tremendous. And I think that if your son looks into that, he would have the edge against any other actor he came up against. So that's all. Yeah. Thank you. Over here.
If you were to choose any Disney character to show up on set for the next season, who would you choose?
It doesn't have to be Disney. You know, no, it's a Disney show, but The Wicked Witch of the West is owned by MGM and they license the rights. So I think it would be fun to start introducing characters that aren't Disney. I mean, I love Disney, don't get me wrong, Disney pays my bills, but you know, Merlin's coming, which is exciting. I can't wait to see who's going to play him. But then I also think it would be fun to bring in different people from different worlds and different genres and different parts of the world of fantasy and sci-fi and just mix it up a little bit. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I think it'd be fun for us to think about something maybe that isn't Disney next time. It'd be different.
I think we should just focus on Asian monkeys. Thank you for that question. Do we have any more on this side? No? Okay, cool. Next one on this side, please. No?
Yes. Sorry. My question is from season 3, in the episode Not Easy Being Green. At the end of it, when you start turning green, how did you do the makeup for that? Because you have like a patch and then all of a sudden you're like looking in your mirror water at like your sister or something and you like start getting very green like because you're envious of her and it just like spreads.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
Whenever there's been moments where I'm green and white, where the green is spreading or the green is appearing, what we do is we shoot it both ways. So do you remember that time like I hold up the mirror and I go from like green back to white, and I'm like, oh, I'm white again because the envy was leaving. What we do is we'll shoot me white, doing those lines, and then shoot me green, and then in post-production, they'll do the transition and all the spreading and things like that. So we shoot it white and green, and then the editors and the CGI specialists do the transformation with CGI.
So how precise do you have to be? Are you locked off in that exact position in terms of...
Yeah. You have to do everything exactly the same, hold my hand the same way. Right. I mean, I had to do that with Marion. Christy Lang, who made Marion, has become a very good friend of mine, and we had a lot of fun doing the whole switching back and forth because I had to be in it, for the thing to work, when they would switch, you know, us from one to the other, we had to be in exactly the same position, exactly the same height. Our hair had to be styled exactly the same. Our scarf had to be turned around the same way, and it was 2 different patterns. So it was really hard for continuity and things like that. So they would put like a little plasma screen next to the camera, and she would like start twiddling the necklace, and they're like, switch! And she would step out, and I would step in, and then there would be a picture of Christy, like 50%, like faded in, faded out. And so I would step in and I would appear on the monitor and I could see myself on the overlay. So I'd be like, they're like, head left a bit, hand up a bit, down a bit, tilt that. I mean, it took ages. And then right when you're in the right position, they're like, and action. It was really, 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 really specific, but really fun. Like I love all that technical, you know, sci-fi visual stuff. It's really fun.
So specific, isn't it? If you're not, I mean, they literally get now, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going
up a bit, down a bit, left a bit, right a bit, like
oh, goodness. Yes, thank you for that question. Next one, please.
Hi, I was going to ask, because I know that on the sets there's sometimes pranks that happen. So on the Once Upon a Time set, what is your most memorable prank?
You know, sometimes we do. There have been like really, really, really silly pranks, but sometimes, you know, Lana did something when we were in that god-awful padded cell, which is so intense to be in, by the way. When I went in the padded cell for the first time, I'm like a little bit scared. And a day in there, and it gets a bit hot and sweaty, like, get me out of here. But there was one time, I think it was my coverage, the camera was right here, and when you know, actors are such puppets sometimes, like we'll keep going until the director says cut, even at the end of the scene where there's no dialogue. And there's this moment between me and Lana, and she's like, whatever, you know, I don't care about your baby, blah, 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 you know, nice tricyst and all this stuff. And I'm looking at her, and the camera's getting closer and closer, and Lana and I just locking eyes, and all of a sudden she's like, ah! Oh my God! Because you're so in it, and you're so in it, and then she just like, there's a boo. Oh my God, I'm like, I need to sit down, I need a gin and tonic. It was so funny. So we do silly things like that to each other all the time, you know. We're very childish. You know, we are very, very, we're a huge fan of the silliness on that show. I can't think of like a specific, you know, practical joke, but we just, you know, pull silly faces at each other all the time, which is a joy.
When you screamed, I quickly looked down to see how they signed the scream. Next question over there. Oh, over here, sorry.
I have a question about Lost. I was wondering, what was your favorite experience from working on that show?
Oh, working on Lost was so amazing. I mean, living in Hawaii, you know, halo. But I think my favourite memories of being on Lost was when, you know, we would shoot really, really late at night, and we'd be on the beach, and the evenings in Hawaii are so warm, and, you know, it would take ages to light the jungle at night. So, you know, we'd have to, there was a lot of sitting on that show, which I'm a huge fan of, sitting and doing nothing. I'm really good at it. Oh, it's one of my best things. And, but we would sit around in our little cast chairs, and a lot of people on the show could sing and play guitar. So we would sit and wait for the jungle leaves to be lit, and Terry O'Quinn would be playing, and Josh Holloway, and then I'd be singing, and we'd be harmonizing, and, you know, maybe we'd accidentally have a beer, and, you know, and I'm sitting there like, and someone would come and go, hey guys, you know, we're ready for you on set. We're like, I'm just gonna finish this song. You know, I mean, it's like, what? This is my life. Like, you know, I've gone from like not being able to afford to eat to harmonizing with Locke and Sawyer. What? How do you get here? Like, there's just moments like that where like, oh my God, like all my dreams are coming true. And it was like such a special moment. I really tried to enjoy those moments, because jobs like that don't come around very often. So it was more the experience of hanging out with the other actors when we weren't working that was the most special part of my experience on Lost.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over here, please.
My question is, it's personal. What's your wedding colors? Any green? Any green for your wedding colors?
Oh my God, we haven't even set a date. You are way ahead of me, but if you're good at planning them, you're hired. I've done nothing. Green. No. Can you imagine me in a green wedding dress? I look like a bloody leprechaun. Lucky, lucky charm. No bueno, no bueno.
I'm Jinglish.
I don't know. You know, it's funny, like, the other day we had like a screening party for the finale of Once Upon a Time, and the producers were like, so, you know, when's the wedding? I'm like, you've made me too busy to have one. It's all your fault. So yeah, I mean, how Hollywood does that sound? Like, we're so busy, we can't even get married. But, you know, it's like, I don't even know when I could squeeze it in. So, I mean, I'm happy to go to Vegas. But thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions over there? No? Okay, can I take a selfie with you?
Selfie.
A selfie. Selena selfie. Yes, let's have them behind us. Very good.
Hey everyone, like to smile.
You guys look great.
That's like 15!
Nailed it! You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. Everyone, please put your hands together for the lovely Rebecca.